the team did not play well. If the defense doesn't get itself in line, it's going to be a struggle. The road is tough, and you guys know the West is brutal.
Gene, who's joining us now on the Morning Roast, former Warriors GM, Warriors Roundtable as well with Kevin Dana this Thursday. That's tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Be there or be square. Garry, good morning. Joe Spadoni alongside Joe Shasky. And where do we start with this team right now? That was just an ugly, ugly loss right now. For a team that struggled mightily on the road, outside of that Lakers win in Game 1, Garry, I mean, 0-6, and they're 6-6 on the season right now. Where do we start with this team?
First, I love this backcourt of Joe and Joe.
Makes it easy.
It has the potential to really score. It kind of reminds me of Thompson and Curry.
You know what, Garry? Like, I'm going to be real. I feel like I'm Monte Ellis in this scenario.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I could play with this guy. I don't know if I could play with him.
Off he went to Milwaukee. Sometimes the trades you don't make are the best you ever make.
Exactly.
And that Curry was involved in that discussion. Imagine if that ever happened. That would have been worse than Luka Doncic.
Seriously. So what do you make of this team after 12 games?
Yeah. You know what, guys? It's early, and the first 4 games, I was scratching my head, and I said, are they really this good? I mean, they look terrific. And then they've come down to earth, and you touch on the point, the road has been really hard, and the defense hasn't been very good on the road. But I am going to share with you last night that they played against the best team in the league. There's no debate. And that team there has all the makings to repeat this year. SGA is a special, special player. He's got some qualities that Steph has. He's very humble. He's a great leader to his team. He makes big plays. He's special. And we can easily use that excuse, but the team did not play well. And if the defense doesn't get itself in line, it's going to be a struggle. The road is tough, and you guys know the West is brutal. I watched last night after the Warrior game, I watched Sacramento play Denver. I don't think there's any debate, guys. The 2 best teams in the West are Oklahoma City and Denver. And then after that, you've got to probably put Houston in just below there. And then after that, I can't tell you what the heck is going to happen.
Garry, I agree. Their defense, especially perimeter, and then because they don't have a funneler, meaning a big shot blocker, in the middle of the paint, like they get blown by and they give up a lot of easy buckets, and they're always in help mode. What do you think their best lineup? I'm sorry, get in there.
Joe, that's a good breakdown. And in today's game, you have to crowd the 3-point line. And KYP, know your personnel. So if you're playing a non-shooter, you can sag off a little. But if you're playing somebody with that shot, you got to get up and crowd them. Now, what happens then? That guy pump fakes, he can go by you, like you're saying. And what's been so tight in the past has kind of disappeared. That means your weak side, the help side guys, have got to rotate from weak to strong to pick up the dribbler coming toward the rack. And that hasn't been there as good as it should be. So you got a big problem in that you're getting beat with the 3 ball, you're getting beat off the bounce, and you're getting beat at the rim. And oh, by the way, you turned the ball over again 20 times last night. Well, that's a recipe for big time road problems.
Yeah, I mean, they have 320 assists and 190 turnovers as a team this year. It's a horrible ratio. What's their best lineup, just overall? If you were going to go a little bit of offense, a little bit of defense, I don't even know if I have a feel for that right now.
Yeah, that's a very fair statement. And, when you look at it, you got Steph back there. And, I can't tell you that I'm sold on Podziemski starting. You could convince me you wanted to play Moody. You could convince me you want to play Richard. That young guy has really surprised me. I watched him in the summer league closely with Kevin Dana, and I didn't see all this good stuff in him. He's got it. And as you guys noted, you got Butler and you got Draymond. So now what do you want to do with the 5 spot? And this is the dilemma here. You can't play Draymond there a ton of times. Now we know about the older guys, and you're going to do game management with Horford. But I think in the big picture, I think you're going to see Horford there as we get further into the season with no repetitive back-to-backs. And that will take the wear and tear off of Draymond. And you got these guys a little nicked up. I mean, Steph is still hurt. There's no doubt about it. I think Draymond might be sitting out tonight. I read a note that Steve said he's kind of banged up. So that means Horford will play. And back-to-back on the road in the Western Conference is not a lot of fun. I think I would have had I would have had a very strong bottle of Cabernet last night.
I think a lot of Warriors fans did too. Garry St. Jean joining us here on the River Islands guest line, former Warriors GM and host of Warriors Roundtable with Kevin Dana. Again, you could hear that tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Thursday. A guy we haven't brought up yet, really saying, is Jimmy Butler. And there's a lot of Warriors fans frustrated with the performance yesterday. Not saying he was bad. They just would have liked to see more of him. When you got guys struggling to shoot and you got Steph there, clearly the shot's not there. He's missed a couple games. And you only get 3 attempts from the field from Jimmy Butler, 2 of 3. He got to the line and made 8 free throws. But, the lack of aggression at times for Jimmy Butler, are you sensing that? And you think he's just picking, choosing his spots early on in the season?
That's a sit down with Steve and maybe Terry Stotts, kind of offensive coordinator, and said, hey, with our situation right now, we need you to be more aggressive. Go into the rack. We need you. And here's an expression we all use in the NBA. You can be unselfish to a fault. And recognize that home game the other night where he was going in the paint and 4 times he found Al Horford because he was trying to get him going. Well, right now, he's your best ISO player, and you need some points out of him. He's so darn smart. I think he can do that if they have a good discussion about it. Joe, the guy that showed me a lot in the very beginning, but I'm hoping he can get back on track here, is Kuminga. He's like a wild card to me. And if you told me you weren't going to start a big and you wanted to stay, you're going to go Kuminga, Green, and Butler, okay. But again, we need to have those guys playing at a high level. Garry, and he's a big, big key.
Garry, I'm looking at Draymond. He's a great player overall. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. He's just getting so up there, and I feel like I'm watching a guy laboring, getting up and down the floor. At what point do you consider putting him in some form, as you navigate the regular season, of an Iguodala role where he's off the bench, he's 20 minutes a night, you're trying to have him at his freshest so that he can impact winning late in games in that small ball role? Can they have that conversation with him? I think I don't know. Like I feel like we're kind of avoiding the inevitable here, Garry. And I love the guy. He's awesome, but he's going to wear down. He can barely get up and down the floor.
No, that's a valid point. And as we said before, he is dinged up. And as emotional as he is on the court, he's one of the most cerebral players you've ever come across. Now, let's take that cerebral nature and take it to a meeting with the coach. And I think he would do anything that the team needs. I really believe that. Now, with that said, you get into managing minutes, exactly what you're talking about. So is it, you sit down and you say, okay, if he really wants to start, do I just play him the first 4 or 5? And I sit him out the rest of the quarter. And I give him 4 or 5 minutes in the second quarter. I got to save those minutes for the second half, and especially down the stretch of the game. So that's game management that Steve, I think, is exceptional with. And your point is well taken. I think Draymond would be receptive of that. Again, taking care of him. Sometimes a player, he doesn't see it. And, you got to hug him. You got to embrace him. You got to tell him you love him. And can you accept this thought? Let me share something with you. And that's the way you go about it.
What's the bigger issue right now on this team? Is it too many non-shooters in too many different lineups, or just the overall lack of perimeter defense?
Well, we always just go crazy about Steph and the shots and all that. But when you won the championships, and we've been so blessed, guys, 4 championships in a decade, now we're in the real world here. And the defense has to be a constant. It's been there for years and years and years. Now you got some new guys, and the rookie surprisingly is doing very well with it. But Post is not a real good defender. I would say Davis is okay. And I can go down the line here with the whole roster. It's a collective team effort. We have to be 5 guys holding onto the rope, playing together. And guys, I'm being blunt. It's got to get a lot better. There's no doubt about it. In your point about the shooting, how many non-shooters can you have on the floor at a time? That's what you got to break down. Can I have 2? And then you got some guys that might be considered shooters that are inconsistent. So, for example, Moody, his youth, but I think he's got a real upside. I think he can be a consistent 3 guy. Has Podziemski convinced me that he's a heck of a perimeter shooter? No, I don't. I can't say that. So that's what you're getting in the young guys. Now, and listen, guys, Hield really can help you. He can shoot you in. He can shoot you out, meaning he launches and they're not going. But some nights he's going to make them and you keep them in there. It's an interesting roster to me, and you're playing with it a little bit. You got to figure out what can work here. Guys are going to be in and out of the rotation. As time goes on, they'll shorten the rotation. They won't be playing 12 guys. They just can't do that.
No, and Gary St. Jean joining us here on the Morning Roast, former Warriors GM, Warriors Roundtable with Kevin Dana this Thursday at 6 o'clock. And a guy a lot of Warriors fans want to see more of, Saint, Will Richard. I mean, what a find early on. Every single time I see him on the court, I want more and more of this kid. Is there, I know he's had one start when all the old guys were out against the Kings. I want to see more starts for Will Richard. Does that sound insane?
No, I think he's knocking on the door really, really hard. And these performances where he goes in there and keeps doing real positive stuff. There's an expression we have in the league, a 3-and-D guy, meaning this guy looks like he can make the 3 ball, but he's also might be as good a perimeter defender as you have on the whole roster. This guy can really defend. He's been very, very well coached down there at Florida. Golden was a head coach at USF, and this guy knows how to play. I'm really impressed with him. Give Mike Dunleavy and his crew a lot of credit. That's a great pick.
Yeah, he's made some really nice defensive plays at the top of the key, whether it's on ball by himself or as a helper, blitzing someone. He moves without the ball. The shot looks funky, but it goes in. I like everything about him. He's tougher than he looks. He's a really solid player. Let me ask you about, there's a lot of rumors about Anthony Davis, Gary, Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. It comes with tremendous risk. He's always injured. He would solve a lot of problems for this team. Forget who's going out the door or anything like that. If I said to you that there's a path for them to get Anthony Davis, should they consider that?
I think you got to. If you're going to chase a championship, you got a ton of players on your roster. But I can share with you that my son Greg, who's an assistant with the Lakers, was with AD when they won the championship and loves him as a guy, as a teammate. LeBron loves him. And he goes in the Luka deal. Well, what are we looking at here? You got a history of injuries. And he's lucky he didn't tear his Achilles with this calf injury. You got to talk about him. When he's right, he's as good a big as we have on both ends of the floor. I'm with you. And that would solve a lot of issues. Now, I can chat with you again next week, and you guys are going to tell me who the heck you're putting in this deal because they are hurting because they gave away a lot of firsts down there in Dallas. Yeah. They are in a bad to rebuild this thing down there. They're in a tough position. I know Michael Finley real well from his playing days, and I know Matt Riccardi when I was with the Nets years ago. And these guys got a tough task.
Michael Finley, Wisconsin, way back when. They're talking my ear.
Go, that away.
He was great. Yeah. He was a stud player, very underrated.
Badgers. A Saint.
Agree.
A Saint. They see a guy tonight in Victor Wembanyama. I mean, I watched it. No, seriously. Just let me just read the stat line of his game against the Bulls. 38 points, 11 of 19 shooting, 6 of 9 from beyond the arc, 12 boards, 5 assists, 5 blocks. Saint, I almost called you Wemby. This guy's incredible. We've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. These blocks are amazing. He's averaging 5.5 in the short time that we've had in the season. That's 2 more than the best ever in the NBA. Guys, did you watch at the end of the game? Normally they're calling, he's got the ball. He tells the guy who's going to come up and set a pick, get out of here. And he flattens it out. You got a 7'6" guy running a 1-4 flat up top, and he goes at you to the left side, plants his right foot in a step back, and knocks down the 3. I mean, guys, we've never, ever, ever seen anything like this. And I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I sure wouldn't want to be on the other bench coaching against him. But that team there, we've got to watch out with them. I don't think anybody saw this growth in him. Now, Fox is back, and he's played well for having not played. And don't go to sleep on this kid, Castle.
I love him.
He's leading them in assists, and he is a great two-way player. Did he play at UConn?
Yeah, for 1 year, I believe.
Yeah. Boy, I'm impressed with him. And you know the way they run things down there in San Antonio. Everybody knows their role, and they're doing a heck of a job down there.
Garry, you know, I would love when we talk with you. I was just at Lunardi's the other day, by the way, getting a turkey sandwich.
Love Lunardi.
I do love Lunardi's.
Wait
Quite
a minute, time
best.
out. Yesterday, my girl Darlene, she gets me the chicken noodle soup for my grandsons, William and Joe. Now, she's nice to me. We put a little extra noodles in there. And then I mosey on to the next aisle to the fruit. Now there, I get the best romaine lettuce for my chicken Caesar. And then I mosey up to the apples. I'm from Massachusetts. You guys don't even know what Macintosh apples are. I get excited when I go in there.
Gary,
we
let me
got
ask
the
you.
best produce in America, maybe the world, in the California Saint. Come on.
True. But Gary, how old are the boys now?
I agree with you 100%.
How old are the grandkids right now?
William is 6 and Joe is 3, and William can do a step back, and my son Greg, when he's home, has him working on the Kobe pivots and up and under.
I love it.
I love it.
I love that.
I have 2 hoops in the front of my yard, and I'm out there with him every day. I'm having the best time of my whole life. People say, hey, Coach, what are you doing now? I said, I have a limo business. They go, what? I said, yes, I do. I got 2 car seats in the back. I sit those 2 guys back there. I put on my hat, and they say, Papa, we need to go to Lunardi's, or we need to go to Danville Chocolates, or we need to Locanda Ravello for pizza. So we're big in Danville.
You know, I'm imagining, because I'm meeting all the parents of a bunch of new kids this year, a crop of new kids, and I always do the introductions, and I'm waiting for the day that you are dropping off one of the boys at basketball practice and you're watching some inferior coach who has no idea what your resume is, and you're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, Garry. Like, will it be difficult for you to stand afar and watch and not chime in?
I could say yes, but my wife's in the other room, guys, and she said, "Will you be quiet? Stop yelling." And of course, I'm telling them, "Hey, look up, and that kind of thing, and hold it's."
Play with
I'm having the best time.
Oh, good for you.
It's great.
Good for you.
That's awesome.
Hey, Saint, we appreciate the time this morning, man. We'll be listening tomorrow with you and Kevin Dan, all right?
Hey, you guys call anytime. You made my morning.
I miss you, buddy. Have a good one.
He makes our mornings every day. That's Garry St. Jean right there, former Warriors GM.
Just makes me smile.